What's going on, everybody? Welcome to an IRL edition of Lobbing Scorchers. We are recording this on Thursday evening in the midst of the Seattle Sounders offseason. They are back in training. We're going to talk about that. But we got a lot to get to, folks. We're bringing back Lobbing Scorchers 2024 vibes. Noah and I hanging out, sitting in chairs with microphones in our hands. We might be doing that more this season, bringing back the Lobbing Scorchers 2024 vibes, but in a live format. We're gonna try it out, give it a whirl. I think it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be talking Seattle Sounders playing in Spokane. We're gonna hit an off-season edition of Agenda Check. We're gonna be bringing that back. We got a couple of other things to talk about that I can't think of right now. But Noah, what's going on, man? Looking forward to catching up with you. We haven't laid one of these down in a minute. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I mean, it's great to be back in the chair next to you. Like, I was watching back some of those old episodes where we were really talking kitchen table issues. We were talking Albert Rusnak. This is where it was all born. I mean, just the kitchen table, the chairs, all of it. Like, I don't know what to say. It's a joy to be here with you, Ari. Yeah, I also literally haven't seen you. You went MIA in Oregon. I thought you had been taken. Frankly, I thought you had been taken.
I was out of town for a minute there, but we're back, and the Seattle Sounders are back, which is exciting. It was nice to see all the videos you got. You were out at training. We're going to talk about that, but it was cool to see all those videos and the photos that you got, and just being like, that's that gives us something to look forward to. Before we get into it all tonight, let's do some housekeeping at the top of the show here. If you have not done so yet, subscribe to Sounder at Heart, sounderatheart.com/LS. Great way to support the show. Also, exciting news from the world of Sounder at Heart. Sounder at Heart is launching a print magazine.
Correct.
I have heard about this. I'm not really in the loop on what's going on with that. It's called what?
Ivy.
Ivy, like
Ivy.
Okay.
Like
all right.
4.
Right.
But it's called Ivy.
Okay. I was picturing like the plant.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an O'Shan thing.
All right.
He's got that like writer brain.
Sounder at Heart print magazine, apparently called Ivy. I kind of just learned about this in the last day or two, so I don't really know what's going on with it. But honestly, more Sounder at Heart content and writing, I'm always for that. Maybe I'll be writing for said magazine at some point. Who knows? But keep your eyes peeled. That's going to be coming out soon, and it's going to be sick. Print media making a comeback. The IRL pods are making a comeback. The print media is making a comeback. It's
we have never been more back.
We're back. If you've not done so yet, also please sub to the YouTube. On the road to 3K subscribers. We're getting closer by the day. We're almost at 2,800 is the next milestone, on the way to the milestone. So help us out and get to that 3K. That's a coveted 3K. I'm waiting for that. Remember the drive to 1K, how riveting that was?
Do you remember the drive to 100? I remember the drive to 100.
The drive to 100 was
a grind.
One of the most riveting.
Yeah.
But like, I think the anticipation and the payoff of the 1K was better than the 2K.
Correct.
And 3K, I think, might hit even more like 1K.
Fair. Yeah.
So
fair.
Help us get to that, and follow us on IG and TikTok as well. And also shout out to our sponsors, Full Pull Wines, Podium Menswear, and Hacks and Ferments. Got a lot of exciting stuff with our sponsors coming up, including another batch of the Lobbing Scorchers hot sauce, which we're always excited about. That was a big success last year.
You people's literally sold out our hot sauce. Like, I would have never imagined that. I have one last bottle left. I opened it today, and I'm like, dude, this is coveted. Like, I have to wait till this next batch is ready. But if you do want to get it, lobbingscorchers.com/sauce. And if you are interested in working with us this season, we are looking for sponsors. As always, you can email us at lobbingscorchers@justoncmedia.com. It's in the description of literally every platform, so you can find it. You get into contact with us. We'll get you right.
Your jersey's a big hit in the chat so far. I didn't really process it when I saw you wearing it, but this is my favorite Sounders
This is the best one, and this is the one with the.
I think actually the archive, or what are the blue ones called? Why am I blanking on that?
Oh, the ones this year?
Yeah, I think those are the only competition.
Yeah, no, I like those a lot. This like Salish Sea kit.
No, I'm talking about the
the blue collar white shirt.
Yeah, the ones from this last year. I don't know why I'm blanking. Were they were called archive kits? They were called archive kits. Yeah. The archive kit from last year is the only one that I put in discussion with this one.
Yeah.
But this one is like my number one.
What about the Orca?
Yeah, no, there have been some good ones. It's not like
I think that was the archive kit. Was the Orca?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
The third kit from last year. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
It's like a 1A 1B situation, but the black with the green here. Oh man, it's nice. All right, should we record a podcast?
Let's record a podcast here. Why not?
All right, first topic of the night, as always. If you guys have questions, thoughts, topics, agendas, observations, grievances, go ahead and drop them in chat. We'll get to as many as we can. The IRL pod, I think, might involve less like interacting with the chat in real time like we might normally do on a live show. But what I'm going to use the opportunity to plug for that is send a super chat. We'll read it for sure. I think, no, we didn't talk about this, but I think the protocol I've seen some shows do is you let the super chats accumulate, then you like go through them all at once, or at the end, or maybe just when you have enough, you do.
Sure.
We could do something like that.
This is how the sauce is made.
As opposed to reading them in real time like we normally would. It's just a little more difficult to keep track of, but
we're doing content here, folks.
We'll do our best. Yeah. The Seattle Sounders, let's talk about them. They are going to be playing, not confirmed.
Yep, confirmed.
Oh, fully confirmed? I thought it was like
Ari. Okay, guys, before we start this, Ari he's been on a journey, man. He's getting back into the Sounders content. So if he's getting a couple of things wrong, he's just like he's a week behind. He's catching up. We're updating his software. It's all good.
Well, so I mean, the report that I saw that I hadn't seen a follow-up to, but I guess there was one, was Jeremiah O'Shan, Sounder at Heart, reported that for Seattle's Concacaf Champions Cup games, I think the first one that they're playing, right? It's not
against
like,
CS Cartagena.
It's not a situation where they're going to be playing at Lumen in the early rounds and then might have to go to Spokane for the later rounds. It is happening that the Seattle Sounders will be playing their Concacaf Champions Cup first match, which they have a bye famously, but their first match will be played in Spokane. What's the stadium called? Spokane Stadium.
Maybe I should have taken the lead on this one here.
One Spokane Stadium. And this was something that was talked about last year because of the monster trucks, correct? But
if they had advanced,
they would have had to do it. They would have had to do it, but they did not advance, so it wasn't an issue. But now that they're in the tournament again this year, it was an issue, and they are officially going to be playing a CONCACAF Champions Cup in Spokane, Washington.
Correct. On the 18th of
March.
Yeah, which is a midweek game.
Man, dude, having the bye is actually so fire.
No, it's great. You're already in the round of 16, like immediately,
and you don't have to deal with those games in early February when you're not like ready to be playing yet.
Exactly.
Those are always have kind of like a easier opponent for those games, but they're not easy. We've also seen guys get injured in those games.
Famously, Paul Arriola
and Jordan Morris tore his ACL in one of those games. So you don't have to deal with that, which is awesome. But they are going to be playing this in Spokane. So let's talk about that. I think that's what the people want to react to. Go ahead and give your take.
Well, the first thing is it is exciting. Like, I think it is great for people who live out in Spokane. This is going to be the first match that they have ever played in Spokane, first competitive match that they've ever played. And I think that's cool. Like on just a baseline level, that's exciting. The second thing is who they're playing. They're playing either Vancouver or CS Cartagena, I believe. So it's not going to be some like heavy hitter away from home, all of that kind of stuff. It should be completely fine. But I'm really excited for the road trip, Ari. I'm really excited. Spokane is this like large untapped market. I mean, even just posting about the game happening there, we got a bunch of followers and a lot of people interested from out there, which is cool. It's like, it's not something that's going to happen all the time, but it is cool that they're essentially going to be playing a home game in a stadium where people are genuinely they're going to pack that thing. It's going to be full. It's going to be full. So I don't know. I'm excited. It's a great way for the Sounders to market themselves, which is something that, they're needing to do to fans outside of just Seattle. And then secondarily, it's going to be a really great test for our commute when we have to end up going to Long Acres for all of the games, because it's basically the same amount of time to drive from here to Long Acres to like just like 4 or 5 hours, So that's my take on it.
Yeah, okay. I agree with all those points. Looking forward to the road trip as well. But I'll lay down my first reaction, which I think it's important to acknowledge, which is that it is pretty stupid that they have to do this. Like, just fundamentally, you should not have to move from where you normally play to across the state to play a Concacaf Champions Cup game. And the reason I bring that up is we talk a lot about this issue that you just brought up of moving to Long Acres, and I think most people are against that. I'm on the record as being against that. I have concerns about the accessibility and just if you can match the vibe of Lumen Field at Long Acres, I'm skeptical of that. But I think it's important to acknowledge this is why they want to do that. Is they don't want to have situations where they have to play a game across the state because of schedule conflicts in their home stadium, which if they had their own stadium, they would not have to do that. So I think we should at least point out that it's not for nothing like why this whole Long Acre idea is out there. It's because they don't want to have to deal with stuff like this. If it was up to them, they would be playing these games at Lumen Field, like in Seattle where they normally play. But because of the issues that they have with Lumen Field and first and goal or whatever, like they can't do that. So that is, I'm just throwing that out there. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that means that moving the stadium to Long Acres is a good idea or that it's going to be like super awesome or that I don't have concerns about it. I do, but I'm just saying this is why they want to.
And to be fair to Lumen and first and goal, this is only happening because they're installing grass for the World Cup. So it's not that there's
it's not the monster trucks.
It's not
an
event.
The monster trucks.
It's not something. This is a once in a 4-year thing. This is because Lumen, and like to your point too, this is because Lumen Field won't install grass permanently. But yeah, so the Reign are going to be playing basically all of their home games in Spokane. The Reign will be playing almost all of their home games in Spokane, which honestly, like I think that's going to be awesome. They should be able to sell out every single one of those games.
Sure.
And that'll be fun. That's a packed stadium. It's a good stadium. And something to One Spokane Stadium, they made a really big effort when they built it to be completely FIFA certified. So there's a bunch of people online bitching and moaning about why are they going so far away? Why are they going so far away? Well, the closest place that they could have played that is certified by FIFA, guess where it is? Providence Park. Are they going to really play in Providence Park? Absolutely not.
That's what we call a non-starter.
That's not even going to happen, right? And so you have Lumen Field, FIFA certified, and then this stadium, which they have literally done a lot of work to become FIFA certified. I do believe there's a close one as well on Vancouver Island. But again, why would you go travel to another country to play a match when you could go just east? So Husky Stadium, not FIFA certified. And that's just the way that it is. You know, what's the other one?
Like the FIFA certified thing. I know we've pointed this out before and it doesn't matter. No one cares. But like the idea that Starfire or Husky Stadium or whatever are not, or CONCACAF, they're not CONCACAF certified, but like some of these fields that they play on in like some of these CONCACAF fields where there's like a track around it and it's worse turf than Lumen. How are like, I honestly don't get it.
It's
How
a lot
is that?
to do with like broadcast positions and lights and locker rooms. You have to have locker room standards. And famously in college football, you have one really, really, really nice locker room and then they paint the walls pink and give you like a folding chair for the other ones. So there are some standards and some annoying things that are like stupid, but FIFA does require you to have. And, you know, go take that up with the University of Washington Athletics, but they're too busy suing some teenager right now. So I don't think that they give a shit to, you know, update their field to be acceptable to play these games, because that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, well, so even taking into account what I mentioned before about why this is an example of why they want their own stadium and all that. Like, I think it's important to acknowledge that, but with that taken into account, I think that this is the best option. Like, other than like, you can't do it at Providence Park. You're not going to go to Vancouver to do it. This is the best option, and I do think that in isolation, in kind of like a one-off situation where you got no other options, and this is the option. I think it will be fun. I'm excited to go. I'm excited for the novelty of it. And I think there will be something cool about another community in Washington, like getting to experience the Sounders. Like, I think there's genuinely a lot of people in Spokane that are really excited about this. Like you said, a few of them have already reached out to us about like collabing and stuff when we're out there. Wade lives out there. Shout out Wade. I can't see the chat, but Wade, if you're in there, I'm sure he'll be at one Spokane stadium. And I fully expect them to pack it and be a good atmosphere. And I'm happy for people in Spokane that, you know, don't normally get to go to a Sounders game IRL. There's a lot of fans out there, and they're going to get to experience that. And I already know that a lot of people out there are happy about this and are looking forward to it. So I don't bring up the other stuff to rain on that parade at all. This is not something that I would want to see happen regularly necessarily, but in this situation, I think it's cool and it'll be fun, and I'm looking forward to going and seeing how it goes. And I think it's making the best out of an unideal situation as far as not getting to play your like a home game in a tournament like this at your actual home stadium. So I'm looking forward to it. Like, it'll be fun. There'll be good novelty to it, and I think people in Spokane are going to enjoy it. Like, they're going to get to see the Sounders play in their city. I think it's sick.
I think the biggest thing out of all of it for me is one of my favorite jokes that our friends over at Happy Foot Sad Foot make are like, are we growing the game? Are we growing the game? Right. But this is genuinely growing the profile of the Sounders in Washington. We talk about the inability for the Sounders to pack Lumen Field. They're not able to do it. People are losing interest. There is, business problems, whatever, with Lumen Field. I think this is an amazing opportunity. They should be buying billboards in Spokane now. They should be building hype for this game now. The social media posts they put, listen, I love the Sounders social media people. They are some of the best people in the world, and I'm sure that this wasn't their decision on how they were promoting this, but copy and pasted text onto a photo of a stadium. This is a big deal. They should be marketing this like it's a big deal. People drive across the state to come see this team play. It happens. Why not make this feel special? Why not make this be a whole event? They should be, what I really hope is that they are seeing this as an opportunity and not an obstacle, because it is a huge opportunity. They should make this the best Sounders atmosphere possible. Show people who travel out there that it's worth traveling for, that you can make an amazing game day atmosphere. This is your proving ground for moving to Long Acres. This is your proving ground. How good, when you are in full control, how good can you make a small stadium atmosphere feel? They need to kill this. They should. And anyone from the Sounders business, whatever, listening to this podcast, God bless you, first of all, if you're listening to us. But this is a big deal, and you better execute on it. Don't think of it as just an excuse. It's an opportunity. It's a really big opportunity.
Well, so do you have any concerns, I guess, over the optics of it being kind of Bush League, I guess? Because fair or not, that's what other fan bases are saying. I think that's an easy
Portland fans.
That's an easy place for your mind to go. I mean, to be fair, your mind, I think, went a similar place when you famously clowned on the Columbus Crew for playing a game in Cleveland. That was a little bit of a different situation because it was just for a messy game. But as far as the base idea of moving your team from one stadium to a completely different one in a different city, it is a similar idea.
I mean, I think it's a little bit different, but that's just because I don't want to be wrong about that take. And I still feel like I do stand on that. But listen,
the messy being the reason thing is a pretty important distinction.
Yeah, I think there's differentiators
this is for World
there.
Cup
Listen,
surface prep.
If you want to say it's Bush League, I think that's fair. If that's what your take is, that's absolutely fine and dandy and great for you. I don't see it that way. I see it like we're getting an opportunity to get the World Cup here. And so this is just a part of the weird growing pains. We're already going to be taking an extended break in the summer for the World Cup. Like it's just a weird year. It just is. There's always something weird that happens. But honestly, Ari, listen, I've been watching a lot of Mad Men recently. You know, I'm a young Don Draper in the cut. Okay. And if I'm Don Draper, I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm 5 glasses of whiskey down right now. And I'm seeing this not as a problem, but an opportunity, you know, like when like tobacco advertising, they get sued for saying that smoking cigarettes is healthy. He says, you know, he's like rephrases it and reframes and all of that. You got to take a bad situation and make it into an event and get something special. They should figure out how to do that. It's an opportunity. It can be Bush League if you treat it like it's Bush League. If you treat it like it's the opportunity to play in a new venue, that's awesome.
You ever been to Spokane?
I have been to Spokane. Yeah.
I once got stranded in Spokane for 3 days. And it honestly was when I first learned that I was going to be stranded in Spokane due to my car breaking down driving back from Pullman, I was pretty upset. I'm not going to lie. I was like, this is not where I want to be stranded necessarily. But then once I was stranded and my friends that I was with, we were walking around and like seeing what was up. We were like, this is actually actively like good place. Like this is fun.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's a cool city, and they do get up for their sports out there. Gonzaga basketball mostly, but I am interested to see how abundant the Sounders fan base is out there. Maybe Wade can let us know, like if it's like a widespread type of thing where when the home games are going on, the bars there are packed. I imagine there's probably a larger fan base out there than you might think, because, you know, like everyone out there still supports like the Seahawks and Mariners, right? So it's like not that like different in principle. So I think there's a chance that it could exceed people's expectations as far as what the atmosphere is like, and also just how the city and the community and the fan base out there embraces it. It seems like to me, from what I've observed so far, that they're already starting the hype out there. Like they're very excited about it. So,
but the Sounders should be doing that too. I hope they are. I haven't
maybe
seen
when
it
gets
yet,
closer to the game, they'll start doing that more.
I don't know. Like if I'm in that marketing meeting, man, I'm telling you, I've got like 10 pitches ready to go, because that's just like, that is an opportunity of a lifetime. There are Sounders fans in North Dakota, believe it or not. Of the 20 people that live in North Dakota, at least one of them has to be a Sounders fan. There's people in Idaho who are Sounders fans that maybe they'll drive 2 hours to go to Spokane. They're not going to drive 6 hours to go to Seattle. This is an opportunity. There's so many people in that region. Make it happen. Make it a big deal. Make it cool. I'm really excited for it. I already booked our Airbnb.
Okay, let's go.
So,
yeah, I mean, there was no chance that Lobbing Scorchers wasn't hitting the road for that CCC game in Spokane. It is one of those things that sounds like funny and maybe a little bush league when you say it, but like we talk about
we
this.
play in Starfire. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
We play in Tukwila. What is the difference? Like, there's literally no difference.
Well, it's just way farther.
Cup,
it's just way farther away.
It's way farther, but like it's the same thing. Like
No,
there
I
is a
agree.
special atmosphere and a special feeling to playing at Starfire. It is our own. It is like a piece of Sounders history, and it's exciting. And people get loud and people get excited. But like, yeah, it's its own thing. I don't know. Like,
do you know the capacity of one Spokane stadium? I can look that up.
I think it's expandable, but I think like 5,000 or 6,000.
All right, so
And
similar
then-
to Starfire, maybe a little bigger.
Bigger than Starfire, yeah.
See,
Nicer than Starfire.
All right. Well, my internet's not connecting, so I can't look it up. But if it's like 5,000-6,000, yeah, it's basically going to be like a really nice version of Starfire, but that's like really far away.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like not that far. It's like a
pretty
4-hour
far.
drive.
Spokane? Nah, it's longer than that.
It's like 4. I think.
I feel like it's like
think it's-
significantly longer than that. It's across the state.
Yeah, the state's not that big though.
It's a pretty big state. I don't know.
I don't know. I lived in Texas.
I feel
What
like
can I say? I don't know.
I've done that drive, but from Bellingham, not Seattle.
Yeah.
But
Expandable up to 15,000.
oh, word,
So,
15.
yeah.
Do you think Spokane could fill 15K? I have
But
no idea.
that's what I'm saying. If the Sounders do their job, and they market, this is what I'm saying. Imagine 15,000 people on the dry side.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
15,000 people on the dry side from Idaho, it's an opportunity. It's a gem. It is waiting to be unearthed. It's literally the dude who's mining, and the guy up top, he's mining towards the diamonds, and the guy's about to hit the diamonds and he's walking away. Don't be the guy that walks away. Be the guy who keeps mining.
This is where probably Spokane Velocity play, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've seen them play.
We're big
IRL.
Spokane Velocity fans.
Yeah, we were at the Ballard FC.
Both of them.
Did they play Spokane the second time though?
Yeah, they played them both times and lost.
Oh wow. I have a very clear memory of that first one
Yeah,
where that
that
dude it was 0-0 in like the 94th, but like it was a heart pounding
Yeah.
0-0. It was an exciting 0-0. And then the freaking Spokane Velocity guy came out with
Screamer, dude.
like an absolute one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was insane. And Spokane Velocity won. But that game was fun as hell. And I kind of followed Spokane Velocity a little bit.
They
After
made the
that.
final
They
this last
were
year.
hella good
Yeah.
USL League 2 team. Like they got that roster to like USL championship quality.
Yes.
And they were playing against League 2 teams, so they were kind of just wrecking house. Like
No, they were
honestly,
good.
the fact that Ballard FC gave those guys as much of a game as they did is a testament to Ballard FC, because Ballard FC is like college kids and developmental players. Spokane
Mhm.
Velocity was like, there were guys out there that had been playing this game professionally for
There was
10 years.
There was literally a guy who I went to college with who played at Penn State, who was drafted to MLS
Yeah.
and is playing there now, and I think has left now and is on an MLS roster again.
So we have evidence that the community cares about the sport, and that the club brass and everyone who made Spokane Velocity happen. Everything I've seen from the outside of Spokane Velocity, I'm like, damn, they are cooking.
And their women's team is good too. And their women's team is like supported. The Zephyr, they're supported really well. So that's what I'm also excited, because the Rain are going to play a lot more games there. That's going to be sick, man. Like that's going to be so
like
cool
that
for that
idea.
community.
Hell
And
yeah.
I think it's also perfect for the Rain, who like need desperately to grow their fan base. They need desperately to grow their fan base, because they have had so many years under that old ownership of just being bad. And now, they're under the Sounders ownership. They've been better. They
They had a okay year last year.
Listen to the Cooler Guild if you
Shout out
want
Cooler
your rain updates. But yeah.
All right. Any other takes on Spokane CCC? Guys, I'm fully tapped out of chat. This internet died, so like I can't.
No one's talking.
yeah,
We're
if you-
good. We're
all right.
back to OG podding. Finally.
All right, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not ignoring anybody. I just literally can't
I
see
am.
it. So we're gonna keep cooking. Did you have anything else on Spokane, or should we keep it pushing?
We'll keep it going.
All right. First day of training. Let's talk about that. The Sounders are back at it. The first day was technically a couple days ago.
Monday.
Hassani Dotson talked. Paul Rothrock talked. Christian Roldan talked. I was not out there. Noah, you were out there. Give us a peek into the vibes. What was it like being around the squad? What were the interviews like? What was the scene?
Yeah, no, it was a fun day of training. It was a little overcast, a classic Seattle day. It was nice to see everyone out. Everyone seemed really excited. You know, we had the first people out. Big Stewie Hawks came out early. You had Kalani,
CB3,
yep, and Alex and all of those guys. You know,
how is Stu Hawks looking?
He's still looking big, dude.
I saw some off-season training.
He's gonna get minutes this season, dude. I'm telling you.
You're not gonna tell me he's too skinny this year, Schmetz.
He's not. Brian, I know you listen to the pod. We need to see Stu. I love that he calls him Stewie. He's like, you'll see some big Stewie this year.
Yeah, like he's like Family Guy.
Yeah, yes. Wait, we need to Photoshop Stewie on the Stewie.
All right, we just made new content.
That'll be going on the Instagram after this. As a promo for this podcast.
It sounds like Stu Hawks. I know he's been training his ass off because that's why he's so swole. But like, honestly, I don't want to read too much into it. But him being first out there, I think he's like, I'm gonna come grab this role.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Like in watching the interactions between everyone else and him, he's a very like head down grind. I'm here to ball kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, he's a young kid and he's out there, and obviously like he's also talking with people, but like very much just that mindset of like getting to it. So we're big Stu Hawks fans out here. But yeah, it was great to see. It was great to see Paul Arriola training. Like that dude is ready to go. He looks good.
This is music to my ears.
He was extending.
We're going to talk about this in agenda check, but let's go.
And moving and running. He did all of his drills. He was a full participant. Schmetzer's saying that he's ramping back up, but you can tell this guy's ready to play. I mean,
he's impressive to watch when he's healthy and full.
He was killing it at training. There's a photo that I got of him and Cody Baker literally battling it out, and he's just like literally like picking up Cody Baker and moving him. Like he's ready to go, dude. He's very clearly excited. That is going to be a absolute battle, because while all of those guys are competing, you have Paul Rothrock leading his group, running. You have him taking on the media, giving him the charm, doing all of this stuff, looking great. Like, I don't know, man. Like those wing positions, it's gonna be a dogfight out there. I'm really excited for Marbella because I think we're really gonna see how Georgie fits into all of that, coming off of a really impressive AFCON. But yeah, everyone looked really good. I will say, you will find this funny. The brigade will find this funny. Albert was not looking like he was happy to be back at training. I think that's just generally his face. But when he was running, he was lagging behind everyone else a little bit. And I did think that
the brigade
would love to hear that he was not killing it in the running portion of it all. Yeah, Kim was not a full participant. He was there, but he wasn't training. And sidelined was the new Noah Newman, I believe, the new goalkeeper that they signed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
He was just on the side watching training. No Pekovic. He hadn't been there yet. I think he's back. He's out there now. Everyone else is training. Obviously, no Pedro de la Vega. He was not even there. And yeah, but everyone back from loan. Cody Baker was getting some good reps in there as well. That was fun to see.
That was good to see him back. Yeah.
And I don't know. This is going to be a really big next 4 weeks. I think a lot is going to be determined with this Hamburg Bay game that the Sounders are going to be playing in Marbella. And I don't know, man, everyone, this is that same team that we had last year, that same depth. I don't think really anything has changed yet. Obviously, if Obed moves on, that's going to be different. But the person that I'm the most excited for, that I'm saving here for last, is Hassani Dotson. Say more. I am very excited. I watched him train. I watched him talk to the media. I think he might be giving Obed a run for his money even, especially if they're going to be moving Obed on. I think they're going to be splitting minutes. And I don't know. He looks really good.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because I think it's a key point regarding Obed. It feels like the Obed situation's kind of in flux. It's in limbo right now. It seems like the plan is to just go into the season with him playing out the last year of his contract. We'll see if anything changes with that. But, you know, I had been kind of going into this season under the assumption over the offseason that they were going to move Obed on in this window. And so I think let's talk about it from a perspective of like, let's assume that they do move Obed at some point. And if someone told you before they transfer Obed that the contingency plan would be predominantly signing Hassani Dotson in free agency, and he would be basically filling the Obed role, joining the double pivot with Christian, and that was going to be their Obed contingency plan at that position. Let's talk about how we would feel about that, because I felt like the whole time from the moment this signing that got made that I think that is, I like that plan.
That's good business.
I like that plan. Like, it is easy to look at that and be like, oh, Hassani Dotson like doesn't have
he's injured.
Well, he doesn't have the prodigal upside of Obed, like the superstar upside.
His ceiling is not Obed's ceiling for sure.
Yeah, like regardless of if Obed is at it yet, which we don't think he is, but Hassani Dotson, like, you know what he is more. So it's like it can feel like if you look at it on paper, like it's this huge downgrade, especially because he's coming off an injury. But you know, it's similar to some of these other intro MLS moves that they made, like with Jesus Ferreira, where I look at it and I'm like, I've watched this guy play enough to know what type of player he is and what he brings to the table. And I think skill set wise, work rate wise, personality wise, it sounds like, experience wise, this is a guy who has 150 plus MLS games at this point.
Yeah.
If Obed got transferred in this window and he was not on the team at all this season, and they were going to roll with Hassani Dotson and Christian as the double pivot, I would not like crash out about that. I wouldn't feel like it's this insane downgrade. I would feel like that is a very good starting double pivot that could be potentially, man, it's hard to imagine one as good as the Obed Christian double pivot, but I think
all good things come to an end.
Well, yeah. And you can also, I can see the Christian Hassani Dotson partnership functioning at a very high level based on what I know of Hassani Dotson, to the point where the team's ability to compete and contend for trophies, Hassani Dotson taking those minutes instead of Obed, I don't think would be something that inhibits them from like achieving everything that they want to achieve.
And I will note, when Hassani was asked what players he's been connecting with the most and what players have like helped him get integrated with the team, the first person that he brought up was Christian Roldan and then Alex. So Christian's already making that connection with Hassani. It's very clear that, and again, this is what like how amazing Christian Roldan is. He's beloved by everyone, but he's a very good leader, captain kind of guy.
He's second to none.
Who like, he's already making a connection with the guy he knows he's going to play with. And I think that's awesome. Like, that's so sick. So he is very excited. And the second thing that I'll say about Hassani Dotson is he kind of had a shit raw deal in Minnesota, from what I can tell. From every indication, from everything, he was promised a lot and under-delivered all the time. It also seems like he was quite frustrated with his injury. He was quite frustrated with the front office. He was quite frustrated with the way they were coaching. And, you know, sometimes all of that can happen, and all you need is an open door. All you need is a fresh step, some competition, the ability to push yourself, and you're at a level you haven't seen before. I look at Christian Roldan is in the literal renaissance of his career. He was at a point in his career where like he was good, he was solid. You know, we thought he was one thing. And then 2 seasons ago just decided to show us that, oh no, I'm actually one of the best defensive midfielders in all of MLS and will probably be on the World Cup roster for the US. You never know what's going to happen. You can't take 2 years off of a dude's career at a shit team where he wasn't happy. You can't take that as this is going to continue now that he's on the Seattle Sounders. That's my take on it. And it's the same thing, like Jesus Ferreira. He has excelled. I think he's going to be even better this year, though. Honestly.
I do too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for anyone who hasn't watched Hassani Dotson play, I mean, what I can tell you is, I mean, relative to how his skill set compares to Obed. Hassani Dotson he's a great work rate player. I think as far as work rate and covering ground, he offers just as much as Obed. I think in terms of 1v1 defending and like physicality in defending, he probably offers a little more than Obed. And I think
he's not like a pocket picker like Obed is. Like he's not gonna he's not gonna have the touch that Obed does. And
he's not nearly as dynamic on the ball as Obed. Yeah. Like he can't really wiggle out of trouble, at least to my memory. Obed has this ability to like get out of situations where there are like 4 guys around him, and he can just kind of circle around them and still have the ball and then keep dribbling forward. Like his ability in a way where you watch him do it and you're like, how the did you just do that? Yeah. Like Hassani Dotson, his ability in possession is not that dynamic. So I think you might be losing a little bit in terms of ball progression. And then I think Obed's passing vision is probably better. Like some of the dimes that Obed can hit are more audacious than what you're going to see Hassani Dotson do. But I think what you're losing with that, you are gaining or at least staying lateral in terms of like work rate and 1v1 defending. And Hassani Dotson has also been more consistently goal dangerous throughout his career than Obed has. Obed by the end of last year was starting to
deflection merchant. Let's go
deflection merchant. But then like he was banging in goals in the playoffs against Minnesota that I don't think were deflected. Like by the end of the year, he was scoring goals to a point where I was like, this player is straight up terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe that was a sign that he's developed that aspect of his game to be as good as Hassani Dotson is at it. But Hassani Dotson has got, I think 17, 18 MLS goals, scores a lot of bangers. He's a goal dangerous player at that spot on the field. More so than some of the other guys that they play. Like I would say probably more so than João Paulo. Christian pops up with his goals every now and then. But I think Hassani Dotson might be even a little more dangerous than Christian in that way. So I think there's a give and take with it. Like what we're talking about with Obed's ability in possession and getting out of pressure and all that stuff, going to a guy who's not as proficient as that, it might actually limit what you can do compared to if you're running the Christian Obed double pivot. Sure. But I do think he brings a lot to the table that could help you in different ways.
I don't think that like anyone, no, I think there's this misread of the situation from certain sectors of the Sounders pundit class, which it's like, well, this is unambitious because it's a downgrade for Obed. I don't know if it's a downgrade. I think that it's a lateral move. I think that it's replacing him with someone who you know what you're going to get. It's a stopgap for he's going to get minutes and you get to play Snyder Brunel. You get to develop Snyder Brunel into potentially your next Obed Vargas. But the reality is we knew Obed Vargas wasn't going to be here till the end of time. And you're never going to be able to replace a wonder kid.
Yeah, exactly.
You're never going to be able to just like,
especially one that's as good as him. Like,
dude,
just thinking back to right, like just now thinking back to what he was doing at the end of last season. Like I remember watching that last home playoff game against Minnesota. Like go back and watch Obed in that game. It's like shocking how good he got.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I get why people might feel like, especially because Hassani Dotson is coming off an injury. I mean, I guess I'm less concerned about that than some people. It was a torn meniscus, and it's not like he had a lot of injury issues throughout his career. He's had the same amount of injuries as any other pro soccer player that I could think of. So I'm not tripping about that, but I will say, I think for the most part, people are excited about Hassani Dotson being on the team a lot because of the Federal Way thing. But also, like, I think most people recognize that this is a high level MLS player, and like, I don't want to give the vocal minority that might be against it, like I don't want to give the impression that that's the most widespread viewpoint. There has been a little bit of that flying around, but I think
it's from the usual suspects who can never be happy. Well, there's no making them happy unless you're signing Hunman's son, and it's
What it is
Not happening.
anytime you make a transaction that is for a player that is within intra MLS move that's already played in MLS, that automatically you're going to get no analysis of who they are as a player, what they bring as a player, what they've shown to be in MLS. And the leap is going to be, we got him from another MLS team, therefore move is bad. That's just like we saw it with Jesus Ferreira. We saw it with Paul Arriola last year. We see it all the time. There was a little bit of that with the Dotson move, but I think for the most part, people are excited to have a 2-5-3er on the team. And I think anyone who follows the league knows that he's been balling for Minnesota for like 5 years.
Good.
Like,
also, dude, you could get Ricky Puig to sign with the Sounders, and you'd have people being like, "That's not ambitious. He's an MLS washout. He's had a knee injury. He's had 2 ACL injuries. Blah blah." Shut up, bro.
I mean, honestly, if they signed him at this point, I would be like, "Don't do that."
Yeah, well, no, he's literally ruined the last 2 Galaxies. You know what? We'll talk about that at the end. Add that to the agenda. Okay. I want to talk about Puig injury, and I want to talk about Hector Herrera, because Hector Herrera specifically has something to do with the Sounders that I need to mention that I think is so funny.
All right. I got Galaxy and Hector Herrera on there for you. Anything else on first day of training or anything we were talking about, or should we hit our first agenda check at 2026?
We can do that. I'll be, I guess, just of note, I will be in Marbella.
Yeah, Noah's going. Noah's going.
Guys, I'm going to Marbella.
He's going.
So me and Jeremiah will be out
on
there.
The ground journalism from Sounder at Heart and Lobbing Scorchers. We're gonna have Noah churning out the pictures and the videos and
post game live,
all that like.
You better hop on a post game. You should host a post game live. I'll call in from the stadium.
They're not going to be streaming, right?
Well, we may be streaming it. TBD. We may be streaming it. That's all I'm going to say.
You guys would be the heroes of all heroes.
Listen.
They never stream those things. They used to have freaking Shane Evans shout out.
Yep.
Blasting out from
Tweets,
at Live Sounders. Yep. And you just had to trust Shane and Danny that they were relaying accurate information from those preseason scrimmages. There was 1 year.
Listen, this is what I will commit to. We will at least be filming the game. We will at least film the game. We will try everything we can to broadcast it. If you want to watch that broadcast, become a Sounder at Heart member.
Can we broadcast it from the Lobbing Scorchers YouTube?
We'll see. We've got to do a little negotiating with Jeremiah, because we are going to have to pay for our trip somehow. But it'll probably be paywalled. But if you're a Sounder at Heart member, you never know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So subscribe.
It's gonna be good. That's gonna be good content, and I hope that they broadcast it somehow. Like, it is very frustrating every year because there's a lot of people that like need to watch those games, like for our sustenance, man, myself included, and having to rely on tweets for the preseason scrimmages, and also not getting to see what it looks like, except for the highlights that they put out afterwards. They'll put out the goals they score, and you're like, okay, but you don't get a feel for how the team's actually playing from that.
If we do it on the Lobbing Scorchers channel, it will be a members only live stream. You will have to become a Lobbing Scorchers YouTube member and pay for it. But
now we're talking.
But we'll figure out what's going on. If we stream it on Sounder at Heart, it'll be a whole thing. But if you pirate our stream, I will come at you with the full force of the law. Dude, you wouldn't.
That's worse than skipping the ads.
Dude, you wouldn't steal what was the thing back in the day? They'd be like, you wouldn't steal a TV or something, and then it's like you wouldn't pirate a whatever. I don't know. You guys know the old people know what I'm talking about. You wouldn't steal a something.
This is like the Napster LimeWire.
Yeah, exactly. The Napster. Like if you're on cracked meth, if you're on meth.
Did I just name drop Napster?
Dude, LimeWire. If crack stream steals our stream, dude, I'm gonna be so fucking
I can't believe I just remembered what Napster was called. That's crazy. Chat, did you guys ever use Napster?
You wouldn't download a car. That's what it is. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
I didn't use Napster that much, but I use hella LimeWire, man.
Dude, so this is a total aside, but it's our podcast and we can talk about whatever we want. For Christmas, I gave my parents both MP3 players filled with a bunch of music that I think they would really like. Like I gave them all. Gave them like 40
Christmas?
Yeah.
You gave them MP3 players?
Yes. They're back. We're going back. I
It's
bought
like an
myself
iPod?
one. Yes, they're sick. So, but I completely ripped all of the music illegally
Hell yeah.
because like fuck that. Like I pay for Spotify, but I actually don't have Spotify. I have Apple Music, but regardless. Anyway, you wouldn't download a car.
You wouldn't download a car. All right, Noah, are you ready to hit an agenda check?
Oh my God.
We haven't
I'm
done
so
one of these
ready.
in a while. We're bringing these back this year. That was one of our off-season resolutions. It was our most popular segment as we got more into the live content last year. I kind of the old format with stuff like that kind of went by the wayside, but we're bringing back agenda check.
I demanded
Bringing
in my
back
contract.
agenda check. And I think a lot of our listeners and viewers wanted it to make a comeback as well. So we're bringing it back. I only have one. I meant to think of multiple, but I didn't. So I only have one. Maybe I'll come up
Preseason
with another
form.
one. But yeah, exactly. During the season, I'll have a couple, 2 or 3 of these, but I only got one. Did you want to go first or should I go
I'll
first?
go first. Okay. I'm just trying to picture what I want to do here. Okay. Jesus Ferreira, MVP caliber season. This is my agenda.
Okay.
I think this
We're
year,
starting off hot.
I think this year, listen, I said it last year that he was going to be insane. It didn't hit. I almost got a tattoo. Shit, maybe I'll make another tattoo bet this year. That will happen at some point. But I just think he looked so good. He was due. He should have had like 4 more goals had Georgie Manungu not been offside every time, just randomly like deciding to be offside.
And a lot more assists, I would argue as well.
Exactly. And so I think he is going to cook this year. I think he's going to have a best 11 performance, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop him. I think he is truly, this might be the season where he shines so hard that he may get a European transfer.
I am fully on board with that agenda. I know there's mixed feelings about how the Jesus Ferreira trade went among the fan base. There really shouldn't be. He had a fantastic season last year. And if you're denying that based on stat sheet production, I would just like really encourage you to not think that. Because all right, here's the thing. Like we were really excited about the trade when it got made, and we were talking about how many goals he was going to score, and he didn't end up scoring a lot of goals. Like we should acknowledge that. Like the goal production was not what we hoped for or anticipated.
The first half of his season you could just throw out. Like it wasn't that great.
I don't even think it was the first half. I think it was like the first month or two was not great.
Felt like half.
And then
it was not great.
Yeah. No, and he did have a couple of rough games at the beginning of the season. The St. Louis one comes to mind. The San Diego one comes to mind.
Like, but also the whole team was bad in both of those games.
Exactly. Like, and I get that he was in a situation in those games where they're like, all right, we don't like the San Diego game. Remember, everyone was fucking injured.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, it was like, all right, well, Jesus Ferreira's out there. He should carry, he needs to carry it today. And he couldn't do that because like there was no midfielders or backline out there to my memory.
I think Danny Leva was playing.
Yeah. And it also admittedly took him a really long time to score his first goal. We remember all that. You were making tattoo bets and stuff. But by the time it got in the swing of the season and he was more acclimated and he was a starter for this team week in, week out, he played great. And I think something that we need to acknowledge is that, yes, the goal production was down from his previous years. The playmaking production was there pretty much the whole time. Like he got, I think, 12 or 13 assists, all comps, which I think if you want to be secondary assists don't count guys, you like take 2 of those away, and he's still at double-digit assists, all comps. He ended up at 5 goals.
God, do you remember that ball he played to Rothrock? I can't remember what game it was. It was in the summer, and
Colorado.
Yeah. Oh my God! I literally saw that, and I was like, "This guy is special." Yes. This guy is special.
So yeah, that's what I was getting to is he is actually, even with the lack of goal production last year taken into account, he's a much better player than I thought he was in terms of how well-rounded he is, how unselfish he is, how hard he works, how good he is at defense, how good he is at pressing. Like, he is very much, I kind of dismiss people sometimes when they say the stat sheet doesn't tell the whole story. Like, he does this, and you're like, all right, well, if he's an attacking player, he should be on the stat sheet. He's a player where I look at it and I'm like, the stat sheet does not, it wouldn't tell the whole story, even if the stat sheet production was better. Like, he does everything for this team. I don't understand like how you can watch him play and not appreciate that. They benefited. How many goddamn goals did he create last year through high pressing? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So many. You guys want to know why they scored so many goals last year off of giveaways in the attacking third, where they got the ball in a really dangerous spot and then were immediately able to score in transition? That was so many of their goals last year. You want to know why they were able to do that? Because Jesus Ferreira and Paul Rothrock ran and pressed their goddamn asses off for this team every single game, every single week, and created those opportunities through their work rate and commitment to defense. So I fully agree that he's going to take another step forward as far as stat sheet production. Because the other thing about this is that I would strongly argue, and you can call it cope.
Yeah.
I would strongly argue, and you touched on it, but like the lack of goal production and the general underwhelming stat sheet production, I really think that was a lot to do with bad luck.
Yeah.
Like you said, he had 3 or 4 goals that he scored where it ended up getting disallowed for offside, where he wasn't even the one who was offside.
It was like
this is what you got to like take into account. If he's the one offside and he's out of position and he scores, then it's like, okay, he
like,
did something. He did something wrong on that play. That's never going to count. These are situations where he is doing the right thing. He is onside. He's making the correct run. He's getting into the correct position. He is finishing the goal, and it's getting disallowed because Georgie or someone else is 0.2 inches offside on VAR.
Yeah.
That was frustrating, and they lost out on a lot of goals off that last year. That is also the type of thing that tends to even out.
Yep.
If you have a season like he had last year where you're having a lot of goals get disallowed under those kinds of circumstances, what usually happens is the next year you end up getting some goals that maybe you shouldn't have otherwise. Or so if he just plays exactly how he did last year, I think the goal production is going to be higher. And then he's also a phenomenal playmaker. I mean, that pass that you
oh my God,
that pass in Colorado that you mentioned, like the through balls that he can play are excellent. But he's just so adaptable, man. Like, it was interesting to watch him last year kind of get the feel for the team and how to play with everyone. And you could kind of see it. Like, at the beginning, he didn't really know how he fit in everything, and it was kind of a work in progress. But then as the season went on and they played more and more games, you could see him be almost in real time be like, okay, this is how I fit in playing with Christian and Albert and all these guys. This is how I can be effective in the wide channel. And his soccer IQ is just so high that he was able to kind of play a different role for this team than he ever played at FC Dallas. And by the end of the year, he was this demonic, high pressing dog winger that was helping the team just so much. So
I think it's also, some people are bringing up the fact that he's the 3rd highest paid player on the team and he was signed to be a striker. And I'm sorry, guys, not to sound like Craig Weibel here, but you don't sign soccer players with the idea that they're just going to simply be this thing. I think truly they saw Jesus Ferreira as the dynamic and flexible player that he truly is. Like, he hadn't really been playing the 9 at FC Dallas. Like, he was playing like a false 9, like a 10
hybrid. Yeah.
Like, he was already playing a more playmaking
and
role.
He rarely, if ever, to my memory, played in the wide channel for them. Like, maybe sometimes, but that was not like a regular thing.
No. And so, okay, like, I don't like, people are like, well, you signed him for this. And okay, well, guess what? He's still even if that was what happened, the deal that he is on, he is a designated player on any other MLS roster, maybe not Inter Miami, every other MLS roster.
Everyone who's operating within the rules.
Everyone who follows the roster rules. He is a DP. He is a DP winger on top of your DP10, your DP9, and your other DP winger who never plays because he's always injured. Which brings me to my next agenda. The Seattle Sounders will sell Pedro de la Vega in 2026. They will sell him in the summer window. They will get anything they can for him, and they will open up a DP spot. That is my take. I not only think that they will do it, I think they must do it. I don't care how good he is.
With this, so
I don't care how good he is. This is my hill. Okay. I love Pedro de la Vega. I think he's a phenomenal player when he is on the field, and he just has not been able to be on the field. And I don't know what it is, but I think that it's time to let the ship sail. Yes, maybe you lose out on him, but it's time to let the ship sail. Open up a DP spot and see what you can get. See what you can get. See who you can sign. See who you can bring in. I think that's what has to happen. I think it's what has to happen to truly make this roster the contender that they want to be.
I understand where you're coming from with that, and I understand the frustration with how last season ended, like when he got injured and he was unable to play in the playoffs, and that was really a sour ending to the year for him, where I can understand why it elicits that sentiment. I also think that like he actually played a lot of games last year. Like the idea that he was consistently unavailable to the point that it hurt the team. It did in the playoffs. It did in the playoffs for sure. But like that wasn't the case consistently throughout the year. And in fact, I would argue he's the biggest reason they were able to win Leagues Cup, and they probably don't win Leagues Cup without him. He was the MVP of that tournament. So like him busting his knee playing in the New York Mets outfield on the last day of the season and then not being able to play in the playoffs. For me, I don't think that doesn't undo like the great season that he had leading up to that. And then also for me, it's more so just like, man, the talent level is off the charts, and there is not a player with the game-breaking ability that he has on the roster that I trust to be able to replicate the stuff he can do. I can think of multiple games last year that seem like they should be easily winnable matchups for the Sounders, but in MLS, these games are sometimes not. Like there was the San Jose game at home, and then there was the Atlanta game on the road. He scored goals in both of those games that I'm not sure anyone else on the team is scoring. And you need players like that to be able to take results in games like that in MLS. Like he has that special ability to be like, all right, it's 0-0 in the 80 whatever minute on the road in a difficult environment against a good team. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be the guy who makes the play that wins the game? He showed last year to me that he is that guy in a way that I'm not sure they have that without him. So
well, of course they won't have it without him because he would be off the roster, but you supplement that with any other player in the entire world who wants to come to the Seattle Sounders on a designated player deal.
But you don't know that they're going to be as good as him in there, that they're going to be that.
Well, they'll probably play more than him.
Let's see how many games he actually played last year.
Here's my problem is like he can have an incredible tournament, which he did, but dude, like he has been consistently injured since he got here.
That's not true. He played a lot last year. He played a lot.
It's not completely his fault, but it's dude.
Oh my God.
He's look at this. Finally, the stats machine. When he doesn't have stats to back up this argument.
Because your internet doesn't work.
My internet's working great. We're streaming right now. But I think, it's just, dude, it's at the point where like he's injured so much. Give him an opportunity to go somewhere else. Maybe it's Seattle. Maybe it's the turf. Maybe it's whatever. I don't know. But like
he got hurt in the Yankees outfield.
Yeah, let him not play in the Yankees outfield anymore. I don't know what it is. You could get an interleague cash for this guy. I'm telling you right now. I think he's a great player, but man, I think it's time. here's my problem too, is even when he is healthy, Brian is hesitant to play him because he thinks he's made of glass. You need players that Brian wants to play. Like he was getting these substitute appearances. Brother, he's a designated player. He should be playing. He should be starting and playing every single match. Like it was already a burden to not have Jordan Morris playing all season. And then it was like Pedro de la Vega was on and off, you know? So I don't know.
He played 26 matches last year.
Out of what, 50?
16 MLS games.
16 MLS games?
No, sorry. It's a 26 league games.
Yeah, how many were starts?
Six Leagues Cup games, two Club World Cup games, not against PSG, and 3 Concacaf Champions Cup games. He
didn't start a lot of those games.
The narrative of his availability, I think, got
that's fair though. That's not more than half the games. So he did not start more than half of the games.
He was hurt a little bit at the beginning of the year, was healthy for all the way up until decision day. I'm just saying, like, if he missed as much time as Jordan Morris did last year, I think that I would feel more the same way. But like,
he's 25.
He was pretty much after the start of the season. He was pretty much fully available.
How much did he miss last season before that?
Well, famously, his first year on the team, he barely played at all.
Yeah, and then the year after that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it.
This was year 3, right?
I get it. I think it is tough too, though, because the injury prone thing for me, I crash out about that when it's like muscle, soft tissue stuff that it's like remember when Jordan kept pulling his hamstring over and over, or when guys like hamstring FC, we talk about that a lot, or like pulled groin, stuff like that, where it keeps reoccurring. That's where I slap the injury prone label. The last injury in question we're talking about here is a busted kneecap in the Yankees outfield.
But I think
that could happen theoretically to anybody.
I mean, sure, but it's also like his ramp up when he got here. By every report that I heard, he was just unathletic. Like he couldn't cut it. He couldn't cut it with the speed and the pace of MLS. So he missed a ton of that time because his ramp up just wasn't there. They weren't able to get him up to the speed of play. And then he got injured, and then he comes back, and then he gets injured, and then he comes back. He didn't play half the games last season. He played none of the games in the first season, and I don't think he played half of the games in the second season. He is a designated player. It's less about, if you are refusing to fucking pay Obed Vargas more than a U22 contract, but you will pay Pedro de la No Play a DP contract, make that make sense. Obed Vargas missed half a season because he literally exploded his back. He's played every single game, started every single game. Christian Roldan, double Pedro de la Vega's age, plays every single game, half his salary.
Double his age. Christian is 46.
Christian is 47. And also with Christian, he was literally playing on a hamstring injury like all season. He just played through that shit. So I'm sorry. I respect Pedro de la Vega. I respect his skill set. You saw how much I came around on his quality last year. I think it's undeniable, his quality, but I just don't think it's right for a league in which you need, and you have said this, and this is where I'm taking this from, your designated players have to play, and they have to play well. Otherwise, you're wasting your very, very small resource slot. And that's the truth. I think the Sounders have to move on.
All right. I mean, that's a hot agenda. That's hotter than the one I had. I mean, like, I think a lot of people feel that way, and I get it. But I'm also like, I think back to watching him play last year in Leagues Cup, like,
and I
scoring
remember
a goddamn
playing.
Puskas nominee. But like,
he was robbed of that, by the way.
Take the Leagues Cup out of it. Like my worry, my concern with moving off him categorically like that is that I think there are these games last year that they pretty much won because of him, and I don't know if you take those same results if you don't have him, like, in those situations. Like, I think that's fair. I would be worried about that, man. Like that San Jose game, I do not think they win that last year without Pedro de la Vega.
I think that's fair.
The Atlanta game, like, he
They famously
in those moments
drew that game.
where they needed a okay, but he scored a goal that got them a result on the road, like on a long road trip. Like no one else scored it. He was the one who stepped up and scored it. Osaze got his first goal in that game. But the point is,
Moose played more minutes.
They probably lose that game.
Moose played more minutes. Moose had more goals and played more minutes than Pedro de la Vega on 1/8 the salary. Someone brought this
you're
up.
pro Moose now.
I think arguably
now we recognize the value of Moose when it's to disparage De La Vega. Now we cite Moose as good value. Okay, I see how it is.
No, I've always said Moose was good value.
You disparage Moose, it's fine.
I disparage Moose, but he's on good value.
I like Moose.
You know, I think the last thing I wanted to say here. This was brought up by the fact checkers, my fact checkers inside my computer. Pedro de la Vega went 91 time. Pedro de la Vega played 90 minutes time last season.
It's a concern. I'm not going to try and say it's not a concern.
And hear me when I say this.
And Schmetz wouldn't.
Yeah, Schmetz wouldn't play him. I agree. And that might be a Schmetzer problem.
He stopped doing that though.
Then he got hurt.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault, but he did, whatever. Anyway, if Albert Rusnak played the same amount of minutes as Pedro de la Vega, we would all be calling for Albert Rusnak to be off the roster because he's an older guy. And
a lot of people are calling for that.
No, I understand that, but I think we both would be like, I don't know if this guy's worth it, right? I think we have to I understand it's the upside trick. The upside to Pedro de la Vega is like infinite. It's like this tantalizing thing that it's like, if we just keep trying. If he was on a U22 deal, it made sense. If he was on a TAM deal, it would make sense. He is taking up a designated player roster spot where you can theoretically, I'm not saying the Sounders have the money to do it, theoretically sign any person in the entire fucking world. You get 3 of them, and you're utilizing one of them on a kid who goes 90 one time.
It's a fair concern. I just, I guess where I come down on this is I can't quit him. I want one more try. Just one more.
Give me one more
just
chance,
one more hit.
Please.
Just one more. Give it one more run. If he gets injured again, then I'll accept
one more hit of De La Vega. I love that.
Just give me one. Get him back from this dislocated knee.
Give me one more chance, please.
The dislocated knee, freak injury could happen to anybody. Doesn't necessarily mean he's injury prone. Most talented player in the team. One of the most talented players in the league. Give me one. Try it one more time. If he's ripping up his hamstring or blows his knee out again, then you move him on for absolutely nothing because he'll be injured and no one will buy him. But one more time. I think
if you're hearing this, just give me one more chance.
One more chance. I think it's just not hard to. It's just not easy to find players as good as him.
It's not.
Like his talent level is like that.
It's like it is such a catch-22 with this player. Like they have gotten themselves in such a sticky situation, but I think there is a clear-headed way to do this, which is you move him on, you accept that maybe you take a loss, whatever, you cash for him in MLS, out of MLS, whatever, who cares? But like, I think it's okay. I think it's okay to realize that sometimes things just don't work out, and that's okay. It's not the player's fault. It's not the team's fault. It just is.
Well, and I do think
I don't think this, and I want to be clear, I don't think this is Pedro de la Vega's fault or lack of ambition or lack of. This is the most ambitious signing that the Sounders have made in the last 10 years.
Ambitious, yeah, it was.
And
ambitious.
So, see what happens when you're ambitious. When you're ambitious
and you drop $8 million, and now you got Noah talking about selling him after he blew out his knee in the Yankees outfield. Mets outfield. Sorry, got the outfield
Jordan
wrong.
Morris Mets Photoshop was all-time live stream.
Chat, I'm not looking at you, but if you got takes on the Pedro de la Vega,
they're all agreeing with me because you can't see.
Okay,
they're all saying gambler's fallacy.
I get it. I get that. But my counter argument to that is just one more hit. Just one more.
Listen, I just need one more hand. Time. One more hand and I can win it back.
What I was going to say, and I'm not saying this doesn't mean they should or shouldn't move off of him, but I like the point of you need your DPs. you do. This roster is uniquely situated where this is probably the deepest roster in the league in terms of their ability to like withstand losses. So,
but you just said that they didn't do well in the playoffs because they didn't have De La Vega.
Did I say that?
Well, you were saying that like the one of the singular reasons that they won Leagues Cup was De La Vega, and then we missed him very much in the playoffs.
Okay, I mean,
I think that's true.
If I said that, I actually don't think that's true because they were scoring goals for fun on that Minnesota team by the end of it, and that's kind of what I'm saying is like you can afford to be you can afford to give it more time because.
But why would you?
Because he's hella good, and what if this is the year where it works out? And it basically, that's the thing, is it like the way you talk about him, it's like he didn't play last year. He played like a lot of games and then got hurt at the very end.
He played 90 minutes one time and didn't play half of the games in the season. And Christian Roldan played more games.
MVP of the only tournament they won.
Okay, they give that shit out just
Puskas
to
nominee.
anyone.
Puskas nominee.
He had a good goal. He did.
Good goal?
He had a great goal.
He had the best goal in the world that year?
You were sitting next to me. You were sitting next to me when that scored. I left my seat.
You did.
I almost hit the ceiling.
You did. You vacated the press box.
I almost hit the fucking ceiling. Yeah. Like, I get it.
God, see, that was such a great night.
We will always always have that moment.
I want that again.
We will always have that moment.
I want that again. You're not going to sign anybody who can score that. Like, that shit was crazy. Honestly, like I get the point. I get the point. Like, it was a very frustrating way for that year to end, but he was like just available enough last year for me to want one more hit. All right, I'm gonna do my agenda now and just win that.
Yeah. I might have another one after this, just in case.
That's fine. This is like an extremely tame and non-controversial agenda by comparison to the discussion.
That's no fun
that we just had. But it's just an idea that. So okay, you were at the first day of training.
Mm-hmm.
And Schmetz said something about Paul Rothrock potentially playing right back, right?
Yeah, he did.
What exactly did he say?
He said he was talking about the winger battles. He was talking about how, you're essentially going to have Paul Arriola, you're going to have
Georgie,
Jordan,
De La Vega getting healthy.
Well, he didn't mention De La Vega, so he may not even be in the plans there. Georgie, Jordan. He mentioned Jordan potentially on the wing. He also mentioned Jordan and Moose playing together.
I was on. That's agenda that I wasn't even going to bring to the table.
Because we talked about that.
They did it. They did it in the playoffs.
We were like, and it looked good.
And it looked incredible, but I don't know if that was Minnesota matchup dependent or So
he was talking about, we'll see how that works. But he was talking just about how that wing fight is going to be intense, and he was talking about the left back position and talking about, who's the captain of Cameroon, but Reed looks really good. And we may throw Paul back there.
Oh, damn it. That was, Paul Rothrock at, was he saying Paul at left or right?
I think left back. I don't know. It was kind of, he was saying through.
Don't undermine my agenda. I'm pretty sure he was saying Paul Rothrock at right back. But my agenda on that sort of train of thought is,
I don't know if he specified what back, so I think you can be right either way.
So this preseason, a look that I want to see them run just to see if it works. I'm not saying they should for sure do it when the season starts, but
Who's the new coach? Ricardo
Clark.
Yeah. Rick Clark.
Rick Clark.
Take notes. This is free.
I want them to try running Paul Arriola at left back, and like just to see how that would look, and if that can be something that cooks, maybe depending on the matchup. And I want to be clear, this is not an anti-Nuhu take. I am known as a Nuhu defender, I guess. I fully
Everyone's saying left back, by the way.
That Paul Rothrock at left back. All right. Well, the point stands. We've talked about Rothrock as a wing back before.
He's played there. He played there at Defiance.
He has played there, but the reason that I want them to try Arriola as a wide back, and I think on the left side, is because I think like it or not, Nuhu is going to be the guy at that position in the first choice 11 most weeks. But I also do think that this roster is loaded enough that there are certain matchups where you can afford to be more aggressive and less defensive. And I think in those situations, putting Paul Arriola as the wide back, that would be a way to get some guys on the field at the same time that you might not otherwise be able to, and has the potential to create a like real turbocharged attack. Like think about Paul Arriola overlapping like Georgie, say. And then this is the other thing that I'm not sure people might know about Paul Arriola, but one of the best parts about Paul Arriola, in a similar way to what we've talked about with Paul Rothrock and Jesus Ferreira, is he is excellent defensively.
Yes.
Excellent defensively. Like that is one of the biggest perks of having him on the team. It's one of the biggest parts of his skill set that's made him such a good player in MLS over the years. We've talked about this. He's almost the perfect sounder in that way. This winger archetype that we've been talking about of the high pressing, like getting into the primary assist zone, two-way, all-around threat. That's Paul Arriola like all day.
Yeah.
So if you put that at left back, like in theoretical matchups where you're going against a team that's, you might think you have a little bit overmatched on talent, maybe stick him back there. He offers obviously exponentially more than Nuhu does in attack. So you would bring that element. And then I guess I trust him as part of a back line more than I do Rothrock, in the sense that Rothrock is a dog on defense in the same way. And he and Paul Arriola, neither of them are like very big guys. But to me, Paul Arriola, his physicality and his speed lend itself to actually being able to go into these 1v1 matchups against attackers like a fullback has to do. And I trust him to win those in a way where Rothrock, we haven't seen him play wide back all that much. I think he can do that, and he could be good at that. But I think Arriola is even better suited for it. So I just want to see them. The agenda is just, I want to just see them try and run that and see if there's anything there, because I think that is a potentially lethal setup when you consider that Paul Arriola has his wide service is really good. Like he's a really good crosser, and he's like so good at defense that it's a place where you could use that to great effect. So I just want to see it. That's the agenda.
I'm down for it. I won't argue with that. Like, toss him there, see what happens. I think
that's what preseason's for, man.
I think we will see that. I think we'll see Paul back there. I think we'll see Reed. We'll see good Reed. We'll see good Stu moments. I really hope Reed gets time this season. I think, so this agenda, if it panned out, it would probably come at the expense of some RBW minutes. I just think as it stands right now, Paul Arriola defensively is just light years more advanced than RBW. Well, I mean, I don't think that that's offensive to say. No. I think that's just the truth. And it's an experience thing. Yeah, he's literally a U.S. men's national team. That's sort of why I was never really that sold on the RBW should be the starter over Nuhu agenda. I mean, I think that's one of those things that sounds fun on paper, but then when it actually comes down to when you have 1v1s versus guys like Gabriel Peck, like they had to do in Leagues Cup, kicking them in the face, you get Reed maybe getting run by. Maybe we should like, this is actually a good example what I'm talking about of the value that Nuhu does bring. I understand with Nuhu, there was a lot of frustration with the red cards and the antics and the dumb shit he did last year. And the bad defending. These two games I'm talking about in this example against the Galaxy, first in Leagues Cup first in the regular season and then in the Leagues Cup semifinals. The Galaxy were trash. There's no doubt about it. They also had to go against Gabriel Peck, who he's a very good, high level, talented player. You can make the jokes about Nuhu's defense and say you would trust RBW more in that matchup, in that situation. Nuhu completely neutralized Gabriel Peck
categorically, entirely for the entirety of both of those two games, and in a way that, like, if you think RBW can replicate that, I'm just not as sure about that. And it's like that is like not guaranteed to be the same. The matchup's not guaranteed to go the same way.
Then he's just never going to play.
No, I mean,
because it's the same thing with Stu Hawkins. Stu Hawkins is never going to play because Brian Schmetzer would never put in a center back with no experience because he is anal about that. It's the same thing. It's like they're never going to learn if you don't give them the experience. You're never going to know if you're going to have someone who's better if you don't give them the experience. Dude, who's been sitting there for fucking feels like 10 years at this point. He's been on this goddamn team. And like, we know what we have in Nuhu. Why is it such a crime to start someone else? They can lose that spot. They can win that spot. They can do whatever. Giving RBW minutes to develop is good for him. It's good for the club. It's good for the position battle.
Nuhu being the starter does not preclude RBW from getting minutes. Like, there's a shit ton of games this year. Like he's never going to play. Like there'll be minutes.
Just like after, I don't understand how like he could crash out and throw all this diva tantrum. He's not good enough to be throwing all the diva tantrums. That's all I'm going to say.
The diva tantrums, I'm not going to argue with that. I'm just saying, like, what I take issue with is this notion that he like brings no value on the field.
If someone's saying that, that's stupid.
Go watch these two Galaxy games that I'm talking about and name me one time that Gabriel Peck got in behind the defense or did anything dangerous at all. It's like Galaxy, if you don't think that Nuhu has a lot to do with that, like, I just I don't agree. Like, that is why he's the starter. Like, and even if you disagree with what I'm saying, like, that is how the coaches see it, and that's why he keeps playing. So that's just you don't have to like it, but that's just the reality.
I just think too that you love what Paul Arriola brings, not only with his defense but with his attacking prowess.
Yeah,
you like RBW. You just don't want to admit it because Nuhu doesn't bring that. I'm not better.
I'm not anti RBW. I don't fully trust him defensively yet. Do you?
I don't know. I've seen him play like 100 minutes. I don't. When I saw Jackson Reagan come on the field, he wasn't good either. But now he's Defender of the Year. That's the truth. I'm sorry. That's the truth. That's the truth.
I think with RBW last year, my impression of the season that he had was that he
played Atletico Madrid and was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no,
So I don't know. I feel fine. Are we playing Atletico Madrid? No, we're playing Gabriel Peck on another Galaxy team that's going to be fighting for the spoon.
It's just one of those things, man, that like RBW in that situation against Gabriel Peck, it might not go how you think it would go. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe it might not go how you think it's going to go.
But okay, would you acknowledge that there was evidence last year that RBW was still very, very raw defensively? Like as far as
and there was
the Atletico Madrid game that you're talking about, he got pulled out of position multiple times. That's fine. It's a Club World Cup game against Atletico Madrid, but like that is. If they were to make him like the full-time first choice,
and how many times did Nuhu get pulled out of position last year?
It doesn't
against Real Salt Lake. Like, that's the problem, is we're pretending like we don't have Nuhu, who, yes, I don't agree that he's like one of the best 1v1 defenders in the league. I don't truly know what people think that means because he loses his man half the time, so he doesn't even get the opportunity to 1v1 him. I agree that he has value. I agree that he is the starter at this point, but Nuhu has the same flaws that RBW has. RBW just doesn't have as many of the minutes. Nuhu will lose his mark, run away, try and get forward, not track back, and blame everyone else for it. And you know what? That's fine. He does have pedigree, and he is good in moments, and he did play some really good matches this season. I thought last year was the best season he's played across the board. But that's not without hiccups and bumps and bruises.
Red cards.
And lots of red cards and lots of moments that... I'm sorry, you've been playing in that position for 10 years. You're a veteran at this point. That can't keep happening. We can't keep pretending like Nuhu is a child. That's just, you're giving him the same, like, leash, or I don't have a good word for it. Like the same amount of like you know what I mean, like development potential, whatever, that you would with a young prospect. He's not a young prospect anymore. He's not. He is the captain of Cameroon.
Yeah.
I think that for all of the things that Nuhu is good at, he also has things that he's bad at. And I think that that's equal to whatever Reed is bringing. And he has the upside. He has the potential. I just think that's the truth. I think that both things can be true as well, where Nuhu can be the starter. He can be good. But I don't think that he is somehow light years better than Reed Baker-Whiting.
They're very different styles of fullback.
Yeah, like, that's also makes it hard to judge.
Yeah, and like RBW, the Areola
and Alex is better than both of them.
The Areola agenda, like, it's not an anti RBW or anti Nuhu agenda. That's something that I just want to see them run and see if it works, because I think there genuinely could be something there. And if there is, and that comes at the expense of RBW minutes, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I tend to think like discussions like this, once fixture congestion hits, they solve themselves. There's going to be plenty of minutes to go around for everyone. The first choice 11 isn't the lineup that plays every single minute of every single game, week in, week out. We know that. So I think Nuhu and RBW were both going to be playing at that spot this year anyway. Schmetz is going to start Nuhu. Like, I don't have as much of an issue with that as you and some other people do. I think a lot of the points, a lot of the anti-Nuhu points that you just made are the point. They're the points that people make all the time. But to me, it's a case of like only pointing out the bad and then pretending not to acknowledge the good. Like,
but I didn't
Schmetz
do that.
Starts him for a reason. Like,
Schmetz likes him, but he also has made bad roster decisions in the past. I mean, a coach isn't infallible.
He's been starting this dude for like a decade. Like, you really think that he just has no idea what he's talking about with that?
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that it doesn't mean that there is. You have self-admittedly said that like Schmetz is very particular about his defense, and sometimes for the wrong reasons. Sometimes people play more than they should have, or people who need an opportunity don't get it. And I can agree that Nuhu had a lot. I just said he had his best season ever last season, but it also came in the midst of 25 red cards, flipping off a referee, throwing a ball at a fan, slide tackle choke slamming a guy in Vancouver,
issues, okay?
And also being a defensive liability at the same time. I'm sorry. Yes, Reed also has some red cards.
Defensive liability is where you lose me a little bit.
I don't how is he not get pulled out of position all the time?
You know what that is? I think is a case of
Alex
like,
didn't do that.
Because I'm friends with a lot of the.
Alex didn't do that. I'm standing for this because Alex didn't do that.
I'm friends with the anti.
Compare Nuhu to Alex. Compare Nuhu to Alex right now. Alex Roldan is better defender than Nuhu.
Like,
compare it. Compare him right now. Would you, if Alex was making the same mistakes that Nuhu was making, you would not want Alex.
I guess I just don't think Nuhu is as error prone as you're saying. What I think it is any time the team concedes a goal, there's going to be someone in the back line or midfield who is at fault. Were there goals last year that Nuhu was at fault for? Yeah. More so than Alex Roldan or Yamor or Jackson Reagan? I don't know. Like, you would say yeah, but I think if you actually went through and added it up, it wouldn't be that different. Like, it's just that when Nuhu does it, it's magnified because you got the anti-Nuhu agenda.
And I'm not even sitting here with these people saying that every time they're mad about Nuhu making a mistake that it's valid. I think that there's often times when people are blamed, or Nuhu is blamed for things that like aren't necessarily his fault, but so was Reed last year. And I think that that's the frustrating part is like,
that's fair. That's true.
Like, yeah, okay, cool. Nuhu gets blamed for something. So was Jackson. People wanted Jackson to be fucking traded and sold after he made like one bad pass.
I think it might just be the life of a defender because
absolutely,
like, you concede goals sometimes. That happens in the sport.
No, exactly. But I'm saying to you, Nuhu is the captain of Cameroon. He is one of the longest tenured members of this club. Alex Alex Roldan is a better wide back than him off of like 1 and 2 years of playing in that position. I don't know what that says about Nuhu, but it's just the truth. And so sometimes when you give people an opportunity, they can be better than what you have. And that is why I think Reed should be at least splitting minutes equally with Nuhu at this point.
I wouldn't hate that. But okay. So that
anyone saying Alex is not that good, you don't have eyes. That's all I have to say. Alex Roldan was the best defender on that team all year last year.
He had an incredible year last year. I do, just thinking over the hypothetical you're posing, like if you gave me the choice, like let's just keep using Gabriel Peck as the example because that's who we were talking about.
Yeah.
If you gave me the choice, Alex Roldan on an island versus Gabriel Peck or Nuhu on an island versus Gabriel Peck, I think I'm taking Nuhu, man.
Well, I'm not because he's gonna choke slam him.
That's not what he did when they actually played last year. He owned that guy.
I don't know.
Go back and watch it.
I don't know.
I think I would take Alex. Watch it.
I think I would take Alex.
Go back and watch it.
I think I would take Alex.
It's a good debate, but I don't think it's like a clear cut Alex.
I just think that why are we cutting Reed's minutes? Why is he on the team then? Why do they keep him on the team if he's never going to fucking play? Why is he on the team?
I mean, I think he will get more minutes.
We've been saying this for 5 fucking years. He's been playing since he was like 12. He's been signed to the roster since he was literally 8.
Hey, if the agenda is RBW should get more minutes,
that's been my agenda the last 2 years.
Yeah, like I don't disagree with that. I don't think, again, like this is not like a one or the other choice.
Nuhu got a straight red for a studs up challenge on Peck.
Yeah, okay, in the last 2 minutes of the game after he'd already been owning him.
I'm walking off.
After he owned him.
I'm walking off.
After he owned him, that does not prove anything.
I'm walking off.
That does not prove anything. Yeah, he did get it. That is true. He did.
I'm walking off. Are we joking right now?
No, he got a red card on him at the very end of the game after he had been cooking him for 2 games straight. Like that. What does that have to do with it? Like you have to take into account the context of the rest of what happened in those games. Like I get like what you're saying, but like that red card means absolutely nothing as it pertains to how the 1v1s between them were going in those 2 games. I mean, look, you can deny it if you want. Go back and watch the film and tell me I'm wrong. Go back and watch it and tell me I'm wrong, and then I'll accept the counterpoints. But like, if you're using that red card in the last 2 minutes of the game to undermine 178 other minutes of elite defense, I just don't agree with that. Like that's like it's leading you to the wrong conclusion, in my opinion.
Listen, I have nothing more to say on this argument except cope.
It's one that's going to we're probably going to keep discussing. It's a good debate. I don't know what the people think because again, I'm not looking.
They're on my side.
Yeah, I'm used to being on islands.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not reading. I'm just saying that. Okay. I don't know what they're saying.
I'll go back and look later. I will say, like, sometimes I'm on an island with these things and I get roasted by chat like I did with the Moose take. But like, people come out of the woodwork, man. They
your one follower is excited about your take.
No. You after the Moose debate, I got many DMs.
Listen,
got many DMs from people who were like, don't give Noah an inch on that. You're right.
Yeah, it's the
wrong.
Ruth Conda forever. Like, definitely happened for sure. Yeah, my favorite was
people had solidarity. People had solidarity.
You have started a Moose Mint.
Yeah,
you started the Moose Mint.
Messiah.
Yeah, you started it.
Yeah, I think once people realized that he had a top 10 striker season in 1,500 minutes for 500K,
we'll see if he does it
they're
this year.
like, wait, that actually is insanely
Should he start
good
over
value.
Jordan? Here, this is
he should play a lot.
No, agenda.
Right.
I'm just gonna say this as an agenda. Danny Musovsky should start over Jordan Morris.
I don't think he should start over Jordan Morris, but I think he should play a lot. And I also think that they should seriously consider running the Minnesota United look where they play them together. I think that looked pretty good, and it's worth seeing if there's something to that. People don't like it because it pushes Jordan out wide theoretically. I don't really look at it like that. I see it as more of a dual striker type situation than Jordan being turned into like a out and out winger. And it cooked in the playoffs. And
what formation would that be?
It's kind of like
Is it a 3 in the back?
It's like a 4-4-2 kind of idea, like,
Okay.
but it might not be put on the graphic like that. It might be put as a 4-2-3-1 with Moose up top and Jordan out wide. But the way it played, the way I saw it play, at least in the Minnesota series, was they were Obadusing it more than they were having Jordan be like a traditional winger.
Mm-hmm.
It worked. So I think that, like, especially when we look at this beginning of the season where they have the it's like CCC and league play and the fixture congestion is insane. Like, yeah, you start Jordan in the like games of the most consequence, and then when you need to rotate because of the fixture congestion, you start Moose. That's it.
Fire.
Yeah. All right. Agenda check cooked way longer than intended, but no, that's good. These are good debates. These are good debates. Like, there's valid points on all sides. My points are correct.
Yeah, mine are correct, but it's okay. Yeah.
Noah, you had a Paul Rothrock take. What were you? What did you want to cook on with that?
Oh, it was the same as yours. It was just the wingback thing.
No, you were talking about like the local, JO's article.
Yeah.
What
I guess my take on it. I don't know if it's an agenda. It's a post agenda. I guess we're post agenda
check. We're post agenda.
I just wanted to talk about, I think in the context of like the Sounders, their roster, their moves, the things that make the team unique, and this idea that to be a club that is worth a shit, you have to sign some massive name from overseas. I see people all the time talking about, we don't need another this was funny. Someone commenting on us signing Yusuke Nome to the first team.
Shout out.
They commented, we don't need any more Americans. We need to sign a European player. Brother, I don't know what to tell you. That's a Japanese national who was developed in the J League.
It's a temple massager.
Who was purchased, moved to the Tacoma Defiance, and then brought up through the development. So literally doing exactly what you want. He's just not European. I think Paul Rothrock and re-signing Paul Rothrock shows an understanding of what can also bring fans back and what can get fans excited. Paul Rothrock is a very marketable player for a lot of reasons. Listen, we can state the obvious. Paul Rothrock is attractive. He's a very attractive guy. People are making fan edits of him. Let's just be real. Like, I might be making fan edits of him.
We made a lot of
we've made a
soccer edits.
Yeah. No like thirst traps yet. But I see a lot of people who you ask them who their favorite Sounders player is, and they say Paul Rothrock. He's a local guy. He's got this story of basically just like working his ass off to get to where he is. He's loved by Schmetzer. He's just a figure that is incredibly like he embodies what Seattle is to a lot of locals. And I think that those are the type of players that the Sounders sign, and the people who love the Sounders love those players. I get it. If you want to get some casual fans interested, maybe signing Hunman's son is going to boost your profile. And he's also going to be really good. That's beside the point. I think, though, that equally having someone like Paul Rothrock, who grew up in the community, who people went to high school with, or people's kids went to high school with, or whatever, it gives another reason to support. And that's kind of the identity of this club at this point. And I don't know, in Jeremiah's article, Rothrock was literally in the middle of nowhere in Washington, not a soul around, talking on the phone to Jeremiah. Out of nowhere, 2 Sounders fans come up to him and congratulate him on re-signing. In the middle of nowhere, people found him. I think he's a lot more popular than people realize. I think Paul Rothrock might be the most popular Sounder right now. And I think that's exciting. And it's a good thing that they re-signed him. And I hope that they continue to find and develop players like Paul Rothrock, because it's a part of the identity of this club. And it's what makes me excited about this club. We've been watching Paul Rothrock since his Defiance days. Our first episode talking about Paul Rothrock, the ability for people to make their own stories is incredible. And it's my favorite part about this club. We're not Inter Miami. We are not the LA Galaxy. We are not LAFC. We are not this club that is going to write a blank check and sign someone like Emmanuel Latte Loth. We are someone who wants to sign Paul Rothrock and develop him into a literal local celebrity. He can't go anywhere now without being recognized. 2 years ago, literally nobody knew who he was. And that's what makes this club special to me. And I am always happy and content when that is the move. If you are not, that's fine. Again, go watch Inter Miami, go watch LAFC, go watch Atlanta United. Maybe you'll have as much fun, maybe you won't. But I feel a connection to this club with players like that I don't really think happens a lot at other clubs, and we're really lucky. We're really lucky.
Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. And I've said this for a while, but what I love so much about the emphasis that they've put on local talent and developing local talent and bringing local players up through their youth system into the first team, and then having them become first team players, is it makes the team feel actually authentic to Seattle, which in not just soccer, but I guess in pro sports in general, you're talking about entities that have so much money behind them that your roster is comprised of people from all over in pretty much every sport. That's how it works. And that's how it works for the Sounders as well as how it works for any MLS club. But when you bring up your own people, like your local players, your local products, and they're actually playing for the team every week, and they're the ones who are out there at Lumen Field and stuff, it makes it feel like this team is actually Seattle. Like, it represents Seattle. It has players that are from Seattle. And when other teams are playing this team, they're not playing like a collection of guys who represent Seattle. They're playing actual Seattle. And that vibe and that culture, it kind of permeates, I think, the whole team, to where the guys who are on the roster that are not from Seattle, they feel that, though. They feel that, like, that connection that the local guys do have with the city and the fan base. They feel how much the city loves the team back. And I think that probably brings out the best in those guys too. But the authenticity of it, having the team that is called the Seattle Sounders be a team that represents actual Seattle and players that are actually and is coached by Seattle. It's like, it is unique, and it makes it, I think it makes like the connection, like what you're talking about. It makes the connection that the fans feel with the team and with the players, it makes it stronger. And that is something that is very cool about this team. And that I think it is, like, not every team has that. Like, I think in MLS, there's maybe more, or I guess in soccer, you see more of stuff like that because of the advent of like youth academies and players developing through that. And, you know, they're not the only team to bring up players through their academy and have them on the first team. But the fact that they do it so frequently and do it so well, it lends itself to this like authentic type connection that I think you're talking about.
And I think too, like, this Paul Rothrock plays for the badge, man. Like, do you think Emmanuel Latte Loth plays for the badge?
None of those guys do.
I don't think Emmanuel Latte Loth gives a single fuck about Atlanta United.
It's an interesting contrast, because they have the exact opposite cultural issue within their club, which is that, like, I mean, people know I'm a Atlanta United diehard. I watch a lot of their games. They don't play for the badge, dude. Like,
shout out to Scarves and Spikes.
That's the biggest problem that team has with their club right now, is the culture within the locker room, man. Like, they don't play for the badge at all, and you can tell. And it is like such a jarring contrast when you watch Seattle play or Paul Rothrock play, and they are laying everything on the line for the badge every single second of every single game.
Yeah.
Not every team is like that, man. It's really not.
No, I think too, like, Hunman's son literally still goes and hangs out at Tottenham. Like, I swear to God, every other week there's a video of him just like walking into the Tottenham locker room, like hanging out, dapping guys up. Like, listen, I would love to have that guy on my team, but he's also not going to be doing what Paul Rothrock is going to be doing. Like, he's not going to be connected in the way that Paul Rothrock is going to be connected. And it's
with him, like, it's a different type of thing because he has such a deep connection with the Korean fan base, and that's been such like a cool thing for the LAFC fan base to bring in, like, that contingent that like maybe wasn't there before. But that is a different type of connection than you get with someone who is like born and bred with the club and bleeds for the club.
But like Jordan Morris being a DP. You know, like, people don't like it. Maybe it's a bad business move, but like, it fits the ethos of the club of like, this guy is going to play for the badge. This guy, we want to reward people who feel like this is home and make this home and work hard as hell and choose us. Jordan Morris has chosen the Sounders every step of his career, for better or for worse. That's been his choice. And like, I think that the Sounders have done a really good job of making that a reality. And I'm really happy that we have Paul. I'm really happy that that's the way that this club runs. Because honestly, like, I see Miami fans, they're never satisfied. And listen, brother, I don't know what's going to happen after Messi retires. They say they're going to just sign they're going to go sign Mbappe or whatever. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep it together.
Yeah, I was on that page. Unfortunately, after seeing their off-season, I'm a little concerned that they're going to be
cheating.
Insanely good. Yeah, exactly. They're basically like, I was anti the cheating conspiracy theories, but now I've fully come around on that.
We need to have Andrew Wiebe on this show. I'm going to make it happen. He owes me one. And we're gonna get him on the show because he doesn't give a fuck, dude. He'll throw out a tweet that's like, anyone engagement farming.
Anyone who has like issues with how Inter Miami is doing it is delusional and doesn't know what they're talking about. And it's like 3 likes, 180
comments. Yeah, I'm just saying, you toss him in the Lobbing Scorchers Lions Den, I don't know if he's coming out. Like, I love Wiebe, but I don't think he's coming out. So, Andrew, the lines are open. I'm gonna hit your DM tonight. Actually,
it's past due to have Wiebe on. We'll see if he responds to you.
Yeah.
All right, we just got a couple more topics to work through here, and then we can call it a night. We've been going for a while. I guess. Noah, did you want to just talk briefly about your thoughts on the offseason in general? It's not the most exciting offseason of all time. I got the moves right here in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
The incoming players: Hassani Dotson, Nikola Petrovic, U22, Ryan Saylor, Max Anchor, Yutsu Kanome, Sebastian Gomez. So no like huge blockbuster splash. Oh, okay. The first thing I wanted to say is that a couple of you got upset with me for the title of the kickoff show on Monday. I thought I was being funny. I made the title. Thank you. Like, I thought it was funny. I made the title Seattle Sounders make huge blockbuster, all caps, signing. And then obviously the U22 move is not like a huge blockbuster. It was a joke. All right. I thought I was being funny. I stand by it. But like, we got a few comments that were like, dude, this is not a blockbuster signing. Do you seriously think that Nikola Petrovic is a blockbuster signing? But then the funniest one, I don't know if you saw this, but the funniest comment that we got on that was someone was like, Lobbing Scorchers does clickbait now? Like, count me out.
Brother, what have we been doing for the last 2 years? I don't know what to tell you.
I have no idea what channel you have been watching, but we clickbait every single time.
Every video.
I will say that was extreme. Calling Nikola Petrovic a huge all caps blockbuster.
I think we've done worse. That
was extreme clickbait. But the only thing I'll say about that is, like, if you have an issue with the clickbait strategy, you got to take that up with YouTube, not us. Like, that's just how the algo works. We cannot permeate said algo unless we do shit like that to like get people to see our stuff that otherwise wouldn't. So that's why, if it ever upsets you when we're clickbaiting, that's literally why we do that. And there's unfortunately kind of no way around that with how the algo works. Anyway, Hassani Dotson, Nikola Petrovic, Ryan Saylor, Max Anchor, Yutu Kanome, and Sebastian Gomez. Not the splashiest, most exciting offseason. You do get at least one provenly high-level MLS starter in Hassani Dotson, but he is coming off an injury, and it's also an intro MLS move, so that's automatically inherently doesn't count. Yep. Unambitious. And then you have the U22 spot filled, but I think what I was talking to Nico about it, they filled it in the least exciting way they possibly could have. Poaching a guy who is on Charlotte FC and
has never been able to be developed.
Yeah, and like got most of his minutes in MLS Next Pro.
Yeah.
Like, can you think of a less sexy way that they could have filled that U22 spot? I really can't.
No,
I don't think that means it's not going to work. Like I've also talked at length about how I feel like this U22 mechanism is not as slam dunk or surefire or roster mechanism as people make it out to be. These are dart throws. Any other U22 that they could have gone out and got would be a developmental dart throw in the exact same way this Petrovic guy is. Like, the idea that you're going to get a big splashy blockbuster needle mover with a U22 spot, there's just not a lot of precedent for that, man. Like, I'm sorry, like, not trying to be like I'm capping for Craig Weib's guy, but like, that is just the reality of what this mechanism is.
He said hi to me at training. I'll do whatever he wants.
It's just like there's nothing worse about the Petrovic dart throw than there would be for any other U22.
It was a preppy pick,
but it is. I recognize the comedy of them.
Did you hear what Brian said?
Doing the U22 spot in the least exciting way.
Did you hear what Brian said about him? He was like, he doesn't know how to pronounce his name. I think he completely forgot his name, so he just kept calling him the Serbian. He just kept calling him, and we got the Serbian, and he was like, I sit next to a Serbian every day, Preki, and so
maybe Preki
pick, bro. Preki pick.
But anyway, those are the two. The highlights are Hassani Dotson and Petrovic.
I don't care.
Ryan Saylor, depth piece. Anchor, depth piece. Tsukunume, Gomez, homegrown.
I don't care, really. I don't think that I didn't see a lot of holes in this roster to begin with. Like, unless they were going to make an outbound move, there was never going to be an inbound move, and they didn't want to make an outbound move. So whatever. Like, I'm not disappointed. I'm not excited.
You're advocating for an outbound move.
I do want an outbound move. I do think that,
like, if what you're saying about what you want them to do with De La Vega is how you really feel, then you should be pissed about this offseason.
No, they don't need to do it right now. The summer window is way better for transfers.
You want
of
to
that
move in the summer window.
I think in the summer, Obed's gone, and De La Vega is gone, and that's when you make your splashy signings.
So you're good with the offseason as a whole.
Yeah.
With the assumption that they're going to be a little more active in the summer window?
I think you always get a raw deal when you make splashy signings in this window, just because of the rest of the calendar.
It's a good point that people don't take into account. Like, Garth used to point that out all the time when people would get on his shit for not being active until the summer window.
And Danny Leyva was sold.
Yeah.
That was a good deal. That was a good deal for him. It was good for him.
That was good biz. They got like a decent bag, didn't they?
$1 million?
That's not horrible.
And a sell-on, I think.
Yeah, I mean, for Danny Leyva,
I think salary off the books.
I think it was like $350K salary off the books. So, that's kind of where I'm at. Like you said, like the idea that there was going to be a big inbound move like that with where the roster's at, that was never happening. And I don't know about you all. I'm pretty happy with where the roster's at right now. I think by the end of last year, we were kind of finally seeing them flex how the depth can work, and like the way they managed the injury situations last year and having to play like at the beginning of the year when De La Vega was out and not having Jordan Morris pretty much the entire year. This roster showed that it could not only be competitive, but could be a winning and contending team, even with all those injuries. So I think hoping for a little bit of injury luck, better injury luck going into this year, at least with the Jordan Morris component of it. I'm really like, he has shown at points in his career in the past that he can stay healthy for a full season in a way that Pedro de la Vega has yet to show in MLS. So I think with better injury luck for Jordan Morris, like this roster is in good shape, and I'm also pretty happy with they did need depth with their center mids, with Obed's future kind of uncertain right now. And I think Hassani Dotson and a U22 dart throw at that spot, I like
Sure,
that.
why
I
not?
like that. Sue me. I like that. I think that's like a good roster building approach. And then as for the rest of them, I mean, Ryan Saylor, we'll see what happens. I don't really know if he's good or not, but like that's like your CB5, so whatever. And then I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited to see what's there with both you, Sokonome, and Sebastian Gomez. Like, you know, when you sign a young homegrown like that from Tacoma Defiance, I think the inclination is like, the odds that they're going to be an impact player in MLS are pretty low. Like that's usually the most optimum outcome that you don't get. But honestly, man, at this point, like I kind of trust this team with being able to bring these kids up and have them be not just like hold their own guys, but like effective, like needle moving players for the positive. Like we saw that last year with Osaze and Snyder B. Like they made judgment calls that those guys were ready, and they were right, were they not? Like they were right. Yeah. So if they say that, all right, you, Sukanome, and Sebastian Gomez, we think those guys are like next up and are ready, and we think that they have something to offer in MLS, I'm inclined to think that they probably could be onto something with that, and I'm interested to see it. Like I want to, especially you, Sukanome. Like the numbers he put up in Next Pro were like
record breaking.
They were better than Osaze.
Yeah,
and Osaze was frying in Leagues Cup. So that's kind of where. What do you think of Sukanome and Gomez? Do you have any thoughts on them? Or
I think that they probably will have an opportunity, and that'll be great, and we'll see what happens. But I don't really have any expectations that they come in and break everything. But I think Yu's probably number 2 at the 10 now, right? Like behind
is that
Rothrock?
I kind of thought he was more of a 9, but
I don't really know. Chad, you let us know. But I think it's cool. And you and Osaze do have chemistry, which has been pointed out.
I haven't watched Sebastian Gomez play as much, really, but I have asked around.
We need to. We're both gonna have to grind Defiance games this year, I think. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I should be better about that. I asked around about Gomez a little bit, and I was told that like he's got like some flair to him. Yeah. Like that he'll try a bicycle kick. Like he'll hit passes that players his age you don't normally think of. So like I'm excited to watch him play for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Noah, just like a couple more league-wide storylines.
You know what? Let's just end it. We'll do those last league-wide on our bonus episode. We can just record that quickly and put it up because we haven't been doing that. And frankly, we need more YouTube members because we're broke.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Broke. Then yeah, let's call it right there. Thank you all, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. It's good to be back doing an IRL show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna try and start doing these as often as we can again this year. And I thought the live format for it was fire. I think not looking at chat kind of made it like I was nice. More locked in.
Yeah, we need to do that.
So I think that actually ended up being a positive. No offense, guys. Do we have any super chats in there?
I don't think so. Let's see. Oh, one, it just says, how does 27 season change affect player contracts? Don't know.
You're seeing a lot of players that are signed like through the abridged season and then with options for like the wording of how they're doing it contractually is like a little bit different because it's like an abridged
we'll see what happens. Also, I don't think there's a CBA thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Good question, but I'm not entirely sure about that. They are taking it into account with new signings though.
Yes. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. I want to get to 100 ratings on our podcast feed. If you watch these videos regularly or if you listen to the audio, it takes 2 seconds. Give us 5 stars, write a little review, write about Ari's hair, write about my hair, write about how much you love or hate our takes. Just drop it in there. We're so close on both Apple and Spotify to 100. So whatever platform you listen on, just give us a rating, 100 ratings. We're on the road to it.
Until next time, we out.
Peace.